Welcome back. The current administration continues to be under scrutiny for its ability to deliver on the promises made during election campaigning, particularly relating to bread and butter issues and the performance of the economy. Prime Minister Alan Shastney recently appeared as a guest on the government program In Focus and spoke on the issue of the economy. He says he rates his government as a success so far.
I am heartened by the fact that the policies that we've implemented have been yielding the results that they have been. So in the absence of any major capital projects, construction projects, that we've seen government revenue increase, and we're seeing the economy grow, and we're seeing unemployment coming down. So once now the physical projects start, that's going to take it to the next level. So I am very comfortable as to where we are and the strategies that we have implemented. Where I am not happy is because it can't happen fast enough.
On the matter of the debt to GDP ratio and concerns about borrowing to finance the redevelopment of the UNORA International Airport, he says the concerns are noted but without merit. The Prime Minister says he's conscious about the debt to GDP ratio and is proud that the percentage continues to decrease.
The naysayers want to suggest that because we are financing the airport as an example, through the mechanism that we are, that's going to increase the overall debt to GDP. And there really is two answers to that question. So one, it is the more important ratio is what percentage of your revenue is going to finance debt. That's the most important. Can you afford the debt that you have? So what we have done as a government is any new debt that we've taken on, we've made sure that we have a new revenue stream. So we're not taking any of the existing. So the $1.2 billion in additional tax monies that we've generated, none of that is going to pay for the airport or for the roads. We introduced an airport tax, which we went from $25 to $98, and we introduced a gas tax. Those two new revenue streams are what are being used now to fund most of the new debt that we're taking on. So there is no fiscal pressure on my part. The next thing I have to ask is, if in fact I don't invest in the airport because we're scared of taking on the debt, right? Can the economy grow? And I think the answer is very clear, it cannot. Because if I don't have a new airport terminal, I can't get new airlift. If I can't get new airlift, then I'm not going to get people to build any new hotel rooms. So it's the chicken and an egg.
The Prime Minister says the private-public partnership arrangement would not have worked for St. Lucia because the operation of the airport, while in the hands of a third party, would be paid for by St. Lucia through the implementation of the airport tax. The Department of the Public Service has announced that to date, the Employee Assistance Program has received more than 100 written testimonials from its clients detailing the positive impact that the program has had on their personal and family lives. The Employee Assistance Program was established on the 10th of March 2016 as a work-based intervention program designed to enhance the professional attitude of government employees and provide assistance to those persons whose professional and personal challenges are adversely affecting their quality of life and job performance. The program provides 6 free counseling sessions to government employees and their immediate family members. The counseling sessions include career counseling, job-related issues, emotional difficulty, abuse, alcohol or chemical dependency, health challenges, marital conflict, grief, medical stress, anxiety, and depression. The program's support groups include Feng Shui Spa, Mango Moon, Total Fitness, Nikita Pilates, Eden Herbs, the St. Lucia Civil Service Credit Union, medical practitioners, and religious leaders. Safe Spaces staged a recent futsal match with the intention to bolster community development. The event organizers praised the initiative as one able to bring together community members while addressing any ills affecting the various communities. Sola Jaffred tells us more.
Rise St. Lucia Safe Spaces program kicked off with a futsal match aimed at fostering youth and community development through the power of sport. Co-founder Rise St. Lucia, Dr. Stephen King, says to ensure the program takes it a step further than solely sports, the members of Safe Spaces were asked to identify social ills affecting their community and come up with viable solutions to be implemented.
The main reason for safe spaces, or the main strategy that has to be followed to create safe spaces, is community development. And there are two really aspects to the community development program. One is the communities themselves, and the second one is the schools, school communities. Let me speak right now about the communities themselves. So part of this futsal competition, every team must identify the main problems in their community and develop a plan to address one or more of those problems. In addition to that, we have to use our networking to help the team to mobilize the resources necessary to implement the action plan. The purpose about that is actually to get communities to be empowered to understand, to see their problems, identify the solutions, and mobilize the resources to solve the problems. And that's part of the sustainability of the community development.
Praising the power of sport to act as a catalyst for change was Senator Fortuna Belrose. She says the Safe Space initiative is one which can bring about a massive shift in the thinking of youth and create social change in communities.
Very good initiative. I think anything we can do in our society to ensure that we create an environment where our children are safe, I think it's very important. The initiative around safe spaces began about 2008 with Dr. King, Dr. Bird. It was International Year of the Child some years ago. And of course, in that process, quite a few areas were built as playgrounds. In fact, in this very community, we had the one in Tuge established. What we continue to do is to ensure that they provide the opportunities for engagement with young people so they can share experiences and understand exactly what it is like to live in some of these communities. I was speaking to Boo earlier, and he actually mentioned the fact that when the kids were going through some of the communities which are at loggerheads with their own communities, it was a bit tense for them, but the experience was good. They went through that experience. There are children who are from the areas that they also have issues with, and I think that's what's the power of sport, and that's what the power of activity does in terms of engaging and keeping people in communities together.
Belrose would go on to highlight the stellar leadership surrounding the Safe Space initiative. She says youth being surrounded by great leaders may go on to emulate the great leadership qualities they observe and thereby continuing the trend of youth development.
You have good leadership where you have people who can help enforce the discipline and the procedures with respect to the organization of an event around our children. And so it's really hats off to those persons who have organized this event. We want to continue to encourage them to do so. I noticed we have a youth and sports youth development officer from the Ministry of Sports working along with them. And I think it's just the beginning of things in this community.
With a continued show of support, Senator Belrose says youth from deprived communities will have better avenues for development with initiatives like Safe Spaces. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
As we approach the commencement of a new school year, the St. Lucia Workers Credit Union looked to give back to its dedicated members through scholarships and bursaries to their children. The organization says fostering a relationship with its members through philanthropic efforts like these will only serve the organization well. It will also ensure its committed members are assisted as best as possible.
The St. Lucia Workers Credit Union, SLWCU, held a scholarship distribution ceremony to award the outstanding performance of students who excelled in the Common Entrance Examination and whose parents are members of the organization. Vice President SLWCU, Jermaine Berthier, says the annual presentation embodies what the organization is truly about.
This scholarship is steeped in the credit union principles, each one, and I will encapsulate that in one slogan, each one help one. So our way today, by giving these scholarships and stipends, is saying thank you and helping our members and our co-owners for having given to us throughout the years. We've just rolled out this Buddy Buddy program to keep our students, performing, because we found out that children go in with high grades and then sometime down the line, life happens, stresses happen, and the grades start to dwindle. So we have this pair program that we've just rolled out, where our children away from the school classroom environment get the opportunity to help each other in a more informal setting. The weaker gets stronger, the stronger gets even stronger as they work together.
Normally, the organization distributes 2 scholarships and 2 stipends, but with 2 students scoring the same grade, the organization increased the number of scholarships to 3. One of the scholarship awardees, Aiden Daniel, expresses his gratitude to the SLWCU for being chosen as a scholarship recipient.
It was amazing just having this sort of gift and allowing me to continue what I'm doing as I'm moving to secondary school is just great. So with the scholarship, will allow me to have a lot of an easier time in secondary school. With them providing this, it's just, I don't even know how to describe it, loss of words. Maintaining the average is extremely important, reason being, without you maintaining the average, it makes them giving you this scholarship basically irrelevant. Because with them giving you the scholarship, it means that you have what it takes to keep on going and to keep that grade.
Meanwhile, guest speaker Rashawn Daniel shared some words of advice to the recipients who will soon be heading off to secondary school.
The 5-year journey spent at whatever secondary school you choose to go to will go by faster than you can imagine. These are some of the most important years of your life. However you decide to spend your time today will determine how you spend your time in the future. You're building your life on the foundation of the choices you make today. The St. Lucia Workers Credit Union has given all of you an amazing opportunity, which you should all be very proud of. However, the only way to ensure that even more opportunities open up in your future is to maximize your very limited time right now.
Additionally, Bouffier says the number of applications received from members hoping to get chosen for the scholarship was immense. Though the organization is unable to assist every member, Bouffier notes, the SLWCU continues to do its best in assisting those it can. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
The annual Chate Creole competition is back, and interested people from around the island are being called in to take part. One of the event's facilitators tells Hot 7 TV News about the preparation process for the big event in October.
The Anneau Manger Danse Chate en Creole competition is back and is now sporting a new shorter name, Chate Creole. The event, which takes place during October Creole Heritage Month, is a song competition where songs are composed and sung in Creole. Coordinator Karen Tobias said the competition is open to all genres of music as long as it is done in Creole. Tobia went on to call on St. Lucians to take part in the competition.
It is open season, and we are hoping this year that we are going to have participants from right around the island. We are almost looking at it, and not necessarily constituency, but we're looking in that direction. We're hoping to have somebody from each constituency in St. Lucia taking part in the competition. That is where we are at, and we are sourcing people from. And there's a lot of interest right now. So it is open season, registration is open. You can get the registration forms. I hope to put some at FRC this week and also at the library. So you can get the registration forms from either one of these 2 places, and I have as well. Or you can email us on Chate en Creole, that is CHANTEENKWEYOL @gmail.com.
So, you don't know how to speak and or read and write in Creole, but you still wish to take part? Well, worry not, because according to Tobia, they have that part covered.
Chate Creole is not just about the singing, it's also about educating participants and the public in general on what happens and how we can develop the language, because we are very, very passionate about preserving our indigenous language. And incidentally, 2019 is the year for indigenous languages. UNESCO has designated it as the year for indigenous languages. So Chate Creole is fitting in right in there. Normally we have a Creole writing workshop. This year actually we have 2 workshops. We have a workshop on music, because over the years what we have found happening is that there is a lot of infusion of our local rhythms and our indigenous instruments into our modern music. But a lot of times people do not even recognize that they're using the indigenous rhythms, and they do not know that the instruments and what they are and what the sound is So the first workshop, which should have happened yesterday, we had to postpone because of the storm. The first workshop is a music workshop, and we're looking at the music infusing the traditional rhythms and instruments into modern music. The second workshop is going to be on the Creole writing, the writing of the language, and that will take place on the 14th of September.
The second workshop, Tobia revealed, is being facilitated by none other than Dame Paulette Louise herself. The workshop, she said, is for one and all.
She is the epitome of our language, we all know that. So she is going to facilitate the Creole writing workshop. Now the writing workshop is important because the competition actually has two parts. There is the song that you come in, you present your song and you compete on the night. And there is a writing part to it. So for the writing, it's very important for the participants because there is a writing competition. So you submit your song, your written song, and the song that is best written in Creole wins a monetary prize as well. The workshops, incidentally, are open. They are not only for the participants, so they are actually open to everybody. Again, if you are interested, you can contact us. We actually have a Facebook page as well, which is Chate Creole. So you can contact us through the page, or you can send in an email, and we will be more than happy to respond to that.
Registration fees for the competition is $30. However, the workshops are free of charge. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Up next, sports news with Tennyson Glasgow.